was a battle of the big boys at the Emirates yesterday, Arsenal versus Newcastle. In the end, it ended with both teams taking home a point. Arsenal not happy with the point. Eddie Howe obviously would be happy. Look, before we hear from Mikel Arteta, and he's raging, let's be honest, he's raging about both penalties. Quick one on both penalties. I'll come to you, Dan, on this one. The handball one first, penalty or not?
No.
No?
No, that would have been really harsh. Close proximity, arm close to the body. I think that was just a timing thing, you know, because it was so late in the game, so desperate to win it. That's why he lost it a bit. But the Gabriel one was a pen.
That's the pen, isn't it? Agreed with that, Crookie?
Probably, yeah. But I think what we're seeing here, and Danny will say it was a clear and obvious error, is what Howard Webb, the new Premier League boss in this country, said to me a couple of weeks ago. He wanted to see less VAR
which I agree with, by the way.
More on-field decisions. I think we're seeing that already.
I agree with that, by the way. I like that mentality. It came in as clear and obvious, didn't it? That's what we don't want, like little consensual. Me and you sitting and going, yes, it was, no, it wasn't.
Yeah.
But I do think when your shirt's nearly ripped off, you're on for corner and you're trying to get to it, it's a pen.
What surprised me was the Arsenal players, and I guess maybe it was because of how late in the game it was. They seemed to react more to the second one, which for me wasn't a penalty.
Then the Gabriel one. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, but that's because
tensions were high. It was the last chance to win the game. And if you don't get a decision with 10 minutes to go, 15, 20 minutes to go, you kind of think, you know what, we haven't got it, but we've got to get on because we can still win it. When it's last chance saloon and you get one, you're just over the top emotional because you're tired as well and you just want to get it to get the game won.
Yeah.
But I think in the cold light of day, Newcastle probably, because of the way they defended and how tenacious they were and how hard-working they were and organised, they probably just about deserved it. I mean, Arsenal, they're in a situation now, they've got to be very proud of themselves. You know, they've now got teams coming to Arsenal scared of them and defending deep
and
against them.
It's been a long time since you would have said that.
They're turning up now, and Arsenal were generally in control of the game in terms of possession and dictating, but that's what they're going to get now.
Yeah,
because they're so good. They've got so many good players. Teams aren't going to come there and try and go toe for toe because you'll get done.
We'll talk about their players because I actually think coming off the bench they don't have that much. But let's hear what Mikel Arteta has to say about both penalties.
Both of them. It's not particular. It's a penalty or not a penalty, and it's both penalties. The team was on top of it. We were really chasing it. We really wanted it. You could see that the team was putting everything to take the 3 points, and we lacked that in the final third, and we lacked two big decisions, obviously.
But in the end, I think I tweeted this as well, saying it's not a bad point when you play Newcastle. Newcastle have hardly dropped any points this season. But when you
15 unbeaten.
This is it, right? But when you have Man City chasing you down, Man City could close it to 5. I think we've seen in previous seasons, they do go on runs, even though they're not playing well this season.
Not playing well, and if they win the game now, 5 points behind.
This is
it's
it.
Incredible.
And they're relentless, aren't they? To the point where a draw almost feels like a defeat when Man City are chasing you, and that's the problem. Off the bench yesterday, he only went to the bench once, Arteta, and brought Tommy Asu on. And we've spoken about whether or not they need to do some business in the transfer window in terms of getting someone in there that will score the goals. Yesterday, they had nothing coming off the bench that you felt would change that game, Crookie.
I think that's why they're so keen on this Madrid deal. It gives them something different. He's that out-and-out wide player that maybe they don't have at the minute, because if you look at all their wingers, they all like to cut inside. I think Madrid is more someone who's going to beat a player and get crosses into the area. So I think that's why they're so keen to get that deal done. But you're right, the squad depth is a problem. If you look at, if Partey or Xhaka get injured in midfield, for example, not really thinking that Elneny and Lokonga are ready-made replacements. Going forward, they're down to Eddie Nketiah now as their only fit striker. I know he started okay, scored in the first 2 games since the restart, but I'm not convinced that he is that top-level centre-forward who's going to score. Is he going to score the goals to win the league championship?
Well, Jesus, before they went away, didn't score an 11, and he's started 3 and scored 2. Now, he might not give you the other things Jesus does, but I think he'd score more goals in this Arsenal team because they make chances.
Yeah,
and his link-up's not bad. I think in terms of what you're talking about...
But is it enough? At the start of the season, I guess the prerequisite would have been top 4. That's now changed, is it? Is it enough, though, to win the league title?
I think a lot of Arsenal fans would still take top 4, by the way. I mean, I've given them a bit of stick over the last couple of weeks for not coming out and saying that they believe they're in a title race. If you'd have offered them top 4 at the start of the season, they'd snap your hand off. And I think, yes, it would be disappointing having led the way and built up this league, but I still think top 4 would be a good achievement.
Well, Man City won the league and won it a couple of times, actually, without a number 9, really. And it's whether your other players are scoring goals. So Martinelli, Saka and Odegaard score a lot of goals. So you don't need Jesus or Nketiah to be 20-plus goals a season for them to win the league. They can win it without their striker getting 20. So that's not as big a big... My thing for Arsenal is as you said, in midfield areas, for example, the 3 in there are brilliant at the moment, and they've got a lovely balance. If 2 of them get injured for a month,
you could play Zinchenko in there, I guess.
Yes,
as
you
an
could.
option.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
That's a great point. But I do think last night did show. You got Emile Smith-Rowe's come back, who's a talent, by the way. So he could come in. He could have an impact if he gets fit. I was surprised, and you might disagree with this, because I know he was up and down, but I was surprised they let Pepe go. Because he
could have been a good impact
A
player.
little bit of an impact, magic spark off the bench.
Quick,
Yeah.
skillful, and
Direct.
does get you a goal. You know, in terms of... I tell you what's going to be interesting when they're back in the... just get this right, actually, brain's gone a bit dead.
Europa
They're
League.
in Europa, aren't they?
Yeah.
I would be tempted to dismiss that.
Yeah, they don't have enough of the squad to balance both, do they?
Well, the thing is, at the start of the season, you might have felt that the Europa League was their best route into the Champions League. That isn't the case anymore. I mean, it's going to take some collapse for them not to finish in the top 4. So maybe Danny's
Saying that the way to play
got
it,
a point.
a chance they could win it.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. Talk